Hello, my name is Mark Schwartz, County Manager for Arlington County. I want to spend a few minutes updating you on some important work we're doing across our police department. As you may know, last year I appointed a 15-member police practice group, the PPG. And at the same time, the county attorney enlisted an outside expert to conduct an independent assessment on 6 key areas in our police department related to use of force, training, cameras, recruitment and retention, internal affairs, and data. The study is with Hilliard Hines, a leading consulting firm specializing in evaluating police departments. The goal is to assess whether our policies here in Arlington are in alignment with national best practices. While we have not received a final report, they have provided some high-level insights, and I've asked our acting police chief, Andy Penn, to identify opportunities for areas of growth in these 6 areas. Today, let me share a little of both. First, on use of force. The initial insights from Hilliard Hines recognize that we are reviewing and updating our policies to learn from recent national lessons. Last week, our police department revised an internal directive that explicitly reinforces our values for the sanctity of human life and the importance of de-escalation. And we added a provision to ensure that use of force must be discontinued when an individual is no longer resisting or the incident is under control. We've also made it clear in our policies that officers must administer first aid, request medics, and arrange transport to an emergency medical facility when needed. And our duty to intervene policy now stands alone to elevate its importance and visibility. We will continue to review and update our use of force policies regularly. We're taking steps to enhance our in-house training capacity for our police force, and we're increasing both the number and types of non-tactical training, bringing us into 21st century policing. Every sworn and non-sworn employee will be required to take diversity training on topics such as cultural awareness, racial equity, and to train on our bias-free policing policy. We recognize the physical and mental stress of our police force, and we're committed to offering a broad range of wellness initiatives covering financial, physical, mental, emotional, and nutritional services. We're proud of our community training efforts like the Citizens Police Academy and 15 Minutes Behind the Badge, and we will be expanding these and other options in the future. As you know, we implemented a new body-worn camera program in December, and new policies for use addressing recording, audits, disciplinary actions for violations of procedures, storage and retention of video, privacy considerations, and the required training before camera use. And by the end of June, we will strengthen the policy requirement to explicitly note that all staff with assigned body-worn cameras will use them during every shift. I also want to mention pursuits, as this is an area Hilliard Hines identified early on as an additional area needing review. As such, we are actively reviewing our policy regarding the risks and presence of others in vehicle pursuits, especially when minors are involved. And we're also developing a foot pursuit policy on how and when to engage. We intend to have these policies completed by the end of this summer. There are 3 other areas I wanted to highlight: recruitment and retention, internal affairs, and also data. We are taking steps to continue expanding our recruitment efforts to build a more diverse police force with special outreach to historically Black colleges and universities and other universities and schools serving diverse populations. We're expanding our recruitment beyond students majoring in criminal justice, and we continue to prioritize candidates with language skills. Arlington County Police is a Virginia Values Veterans Certified Employer, or V3, and that helps us recruit veterans interested in pursuing careers in law enforcement. These steps go hand in hand with our current ambassador program and a more formal community recruitment partner program, which we will establish by the end of 2021. Our internal affairs function is critical to holding ourselves accountable. We will continue our practice of having each investigation reviewed up the chain of command, and that includes the thorough reviews by our Office of Professional Responsibility, more commonly referred to as internal affairs. We've updated our website so that we have our complaint process and investigation guidelines online and can be found on our webpage along with a complaint form. We're developing a protocol for periodically auditing internal affairs files to ensure that our police comply with the internal guidelines to complete investigations within 30 days and that we notify the complainant of final dispositions. Once established, the Civilian Review Board will be a critical stakeholder in all of these processes. Last, but certainly not least, data. The Police Practices Group called for enhanced data analysis as a key area of need. Our online crime mapping software remains available to the public on our website. And the recently adopted fiscal year 22 budget includes a traffic data analyst position outside of the police department. Earlier this week, released 2 new dashboards that organize Arlington's demographic data and include information on race and ethnicity at the countywide and sub-county levels. There are several efforts at the state level that we are following, and we are actively updating our internal policies to align with the new Community Policing Act. We anticipate posting this data, traffic stop data, and e-summons data for the public later this summer or early fall. As you can see, we are moving forward across the 6 areas of focus of the independent assessment, and anticipate many of these actions I have outlined today will be completed by the end of the calendar year. We are also actively moving forward with PPG recommendations. Over the next week, I will present a draft ordinance to the County Board on the creation of a Civilian Review Board and a proposal to repeal our failure to identify law. There's a lot of ground to cover on issues important to all of us. These are just a few early steps we are taking. I remain steadfast in my commitment for advancing best practice across the Arlington County Police Department. Thank you.